everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J, and in today's video I am overviewing the newest launch from Norvina. Norvina has her own line within Anastasia Beverly Hills now, so I'm going to treat Norvina's line as its own entity. Even though it's a division of Anastasia Beverly Hills and she is her daughter, I think that she's taking her brand in a different creative direction. So she launched some new products. I grabbed 4 new things from her, 2 pairs of lashes, and the 2 mini palettes that she launched. So let's jump into the details. So let's start off with the lashes. These are called the Norvina False Lashes and they retail for $12 each. She came out with 6 different styles. I have 2 of them in the styles Gorgina and the other style is in the style So Hollywood. I have on the style So Hollywood now. That style is described as a full strip synthetic lash with iconic glamour and voluminous drama. And the other style that I have is Gorgina. And this style is a little bit fuller. It's described as a rock star level full strip synthetic lash with center focused alternating length and dense volume. It says that these lashes are premium quality false lashes with easy to apply, comfortable, undetectable wear. But the next thing that she launched are 2 new palettes, and these are called the Mini Pro Pigment Palettes Volume 1 and Volume 2. So these retail for $29 each. And let's go over Volume 1 first. So this is the packaging for it. It has that chevron type packaging and it says ABH Norvina in the gold script. So here's what the actual palette looks like. It has the hard plastic and the same design. And when you open it up, it has a mirror, and then here are the eyeshadows. So there are 9 different eyeshadows in this palette, and this one has more so of a pinky purpley color story. This palette was curated by Norvina and it has a mix of shimmery and matte eyeshadows in here. And purple is Norvina's favorite color. So in the description it says that this palette has some of her signature purples in here, and it says that these shades allow for a broad range of artistic makeup looks. Just like the larger Pan Pro Pigment palettes, these don't have names. On the back it has color names like A1, A2, A3. Each row has a letter and each column has a number. So here's the Volume 2 Mini Pro Pigment palette, and this one has the bright pops of color, but it also has more neutral tones. Again, it has matte and shimmery eyeshadows in here. But both of these palettes say that they have 1 gram of product or 0.035 ounces of product, and it says each. So I don't know if that means per each palette or per each pan of eyeshadow in the palette. I'm not quite sure. But both of these palettes are limited edition, and I did get them from Sephora's website, so they are available there. These are also available on Anastasia's website. I'm not sure if they're going to go to other retailers, but for now, I just see them on Sephora's website and on Anastasia's website. And I will have links for where you can pick up these palettes down in the description box, but I did a look using each of the palettes. That way you all can see what they look like in action. I did use my eyeshadow base from Anastasia as a base for these eyeshadows. If you all don't have that, use whatever you have. Concealer, just use something as an eyeshadow base. That way the eyeshadows can have something to adhere to. But I'll go ahead and insert the swatches, and then we'll jump into the demo, and then we'll jump into my final thoughts about these products. So I hope that you all enjoy, and I will talk to you all shortly. So here's the first look that we're doing using the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. Wayne Goss number 17 brush, and I'm taking this shade. And I already have on my Anastasia primer, so I'm just going to go straight on top of that with this color in my crease and then buff it upwards. And this is going to be my crease color as well as my transition shade. Same brush, and I'm going to dip into this color. Move down and apply this directly in the crease. I am not going to blend this color up. Go back and forth and make sure that this color is applied evenly. And then if you need to, go in with a little bit of packing motions just to make sure that everything is fully opaque. Same brush, and let's go into this color. Let's pop that on the outer corner, on the lid, and then bring it up to the crease. Same brush, and let's pick up this color. And I want this color on the lid, so I am just making sure to pop it on using packing motions. And I am going to take this color all on the lid up to the crease and make sure to blend it with the outer corner color. Now pack this on until it is completely opaque. Now I'm going to go into a Royal & Langnickel flat shader brush. This is a BOM 42, and take this color. I suggest that you apply this color very lightly in the way that I'm about to apply it. So go right underneath the brow, and I mean like lightly tap into this color because it is so pigmented. Just take just a little bit and go right underneath that brow arch just for an underbrow highlight. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more and intensify it right underneath the very high arch of the brow. Boom. Now I'm taking a detailer brush, another Royal & Langnickel brush. This is the BOM 50. I am going to pop that on my inner corner and bring it around on the lower inner corner. Boom. Same brush, and I'm taking this color. And I am going to take this in the center of the lower lash line. Make sure to connect it to the color on the inner portion. And then go back with this color. And finish off the lower lash line with that, and then bring it around to the top. So here's the finished first look using the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. So here's the second look that we're doing using the Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2. I'm going in with a Sonia G Crease Pro with this beautiful orange color. And I'm taking this on top of the Anastasia primer again. I'm just going right on top of my crease and blending this color out. And this is going to be my transition shade. So it's pretty faint. So I'm tapping into it and building up this color because I do want to be able to show the orange. So I'm going in really tight circular motions to diffuse the color out, but not really big because I don't want to fluff it into the air. Same brush, and I'm going to dip into this color. Move it down, and let's apply this directly in the crease. I'm pretty much using packing motions to apply this in the crease and sort of blend it upwards, but not a whole lot. Just back and forth. That took a minute to get it blended out, but once you have it there, I do like this color combination. But these two colors are very dry, so trying to blend them together did take a little bit of effort. Same brush, and I'm going to pick up this color and carefully tap that on the outer corner and then bring it up to meet it at the crease. So I'm taking the majority of the color on the flat side of this brush, and then I'm just going up and down, packing that color on. And I'm not worrying about blending it. It just kind of blends into each other because it's laying right next to where their crease color is. Now I'm going into a flat shader brush. This is a Rephr 02 in this color. Pat this color on. I'm just bringing it next to the outer corner color. And then I'm bringing it to the crease, but you have to be very careful with this color and the crease because if you put too much of this in the crease, it will look so muddy. So just right on the edge is where you want to tap it so it blends. Now I'm going in with an Esom S31 brush and this really pretty green shade. I'm popping that on the inner corner. And then I'm going to take that on the lower inner corner too. Same brush, and I'm taking this color. And let's pop that on the center on the lower lash line. And then same pencil brush, and I'm going back with this color. I'm blending it with the lower lash line and I'm connecting it to the top. So here's the finished look using the Norvina Mini Pro Pigment Palettes Volume 2. So let's talk about my final thoughts about this launch. So let's start off with the eyelashes. And the pair that I have on, I think they look decent. However, like I stated in my haul video when I was talking about these lashes, I think that these lashes are equivalent in terms of quality to beauty supply store lashes. So I just don't think these lashes are worth $12 each. I think that these lashes are very similar to the lashes that I buy from there that are much more inexpensive, and these aren't bad. They just don't warrant the price tag. They aren't really fluffy. They don't have a dramatic effect. They're just basic lashes that I feel that if you take away the label, they look like lashes that you can get from your drugstore, or even better, like I said, the beauty supply store. So I would skip on these and just head somewhere that's a little bit more inexpensive to get the same type lashes and pay a lot less. Now let's talk about the Mini Pro Pigment palettes, palette by palette, starting with Volume 1. So I really like the outside packaging of these. I think that it's very cool. It's sturdy. It's not going to break. Aside from the packaging, which I really like, let's talk about the color story. So I really like the color story. I think that it's very cohesive. Even though it's very similar, I was able to create an eye look using all of the colors, and you can see the differences of the colors on the lids. So I do like that. If you are a purpley pink lover, then this color story will be right up your alley. Personally, I think that if you have the larger Norvina Pro Pigment palettes, you don't need this unless you want to travel around with something that's a lot smaller, because these palettes are huge in comparison. You can see how big this palette is in comparison to the mini palette. Like, this palette is so much smaller. So if you already have all three of these palettes, then I don't think that this one is necessary. Or even if you don't have all three and you just have the first palette, I don't think this palette is necessary. Here's the Pro Pigment palette Volume 1, and here's the Mini Pro Pigment palette Volume 1. As you all can see, there are similarities across both of the palettes. And if you have the larger one, even though the colors aren't exactly the same, they're close enough to where you don't really need the smaller one unless you just are a collector. So as far as the quality of these eyeshadows, I think that these eyeshadows went on the lid really nicely, a lot more easy than I expected them to, just based off of the swatches. These swatch very dry and very dusty. They do apply dry as well, but with an eyeshadow base, I was able to work it out. Purple is a very difficult color to master, and a lot of brands, high and low end, really cannot get that down pat. So the quality of the purples in here wasn't bad. I'm not gonna say it was great, but it just was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, just based off of the swatches. So if you are interested in this, you definitely are going to need an eyeshadow base, preferably the Anastasia one, or one that's very sticky to help these eyeshadows adhere. But you don't want it to be too sticky to the point where you're getting that skipping motion, because these are dry and they are looking for anything to cling to, so just be careful with that. The next palette, Volume 2. So I like this color story a lot better. I think this color story is very unique. I like the way that the color story is edited to include colors that you wouldn't typically pair together. So you can get creative with it. You can make it more colorful if you want it to be. You can make it a little bit more neutral if you need it to be. But overall, I think this one is pretty versatile in terms of the colors that were selected, and it's not as overwhelming to use color if they're limited and already pre-selected for you. However, I feel the same way about this palette's quality in terms of the eyeshadow's performance as I do the first one. I still think the quality of the eyeshadow in this palette is just lacking. It's very dry, and I was able to make my eyeshadow look work, but overall I had to spend a little bit more time than I like to packing on the colors, making sure that the colors were blended, because these colors do take a minute to get there because they are so powdery. A lot of it is going up into the air, or it blends away when you try to blend it, and you get a little bit of a patchiness on the lid even with an eyeshadow base. So some of the colors in here perform a little bit better than others, as you guys saw in the demonstration. Here's the larger Volume 3 palette, and you all can see it's very reminiscent of this one. There's differences in the colors. The most unique shade of the Mini Volume 2 palette is definitely this green right here. It's like a Gumby type green. Like I said, you can create the same vibe with the other eyeshadow palettes that she's already come out with, the larger ones, because those are going to allow you to get that eyeshadow look a lot more seamlessly, because those are much better formulated. They're very soft, very blendable, and I really enjoy the quality of those. Whereas these don't have that same slip to them. They don't have that same pigmentation, so you're going to be doing a lot more work to get it to work, versus if you just get the larger ones, which are a better value and they're better quality. So I love those a lot more than I love these. I'm not really a big fan of these, and I'm not a fan of the eyelashes. Unfortunately, a lot of times brands have created these mini eyeshadow palettes, and it seems like it's a better deal just because it's a lesser price point, but in all honesty, most of the time it's not, especially if you look at the price per gram or the price per ounce. You get a lot less products, but you pay a higher higher markup, but you're paying a lesser price point up front, so it seems like you're paying less, but honestly, you're really cutting yourself in terms of the quality and in terms of the value, because you can just save up a little bit more and get the larger pan eyeshadow palettes from these brands, and you can experience what everybody loves about them instead of trying to get these and save a little bit of money initially and then you're like, I just don't get it. Because I don't think these are an accurate representation of what she's already presented with us with the larger pan eyeshadow palettes. And to be honest, I think that these still are pretty expensive at $29 a piece when you can get a larger pan eyeshadow palette, this one, and get so much more products for $60. So it's double the price, but you get so much more products. But this is Norvina's line, but it still is housed under Anastasia Beverly Hills. So let me know your thoughts on these products down in the comments section. I really hope that Anastasia Beverly Hills and Norvina slows it down for the rest of the year and the first quarter of next year, because they have come out with a lot of products at one time. And I just haven't had time to fully ingest these products just because they've been coming so rapidly. So hopefully this is the last that we see from them this year in terms of eyeshadow. They can come out with other products and I will happily accept them, but eyeshadows, I'm like, dang, at this point, because I've purchased so much from them this year eyeshadow wise, the eyeshadows definitely have to blow me away for me to make another purchase from them for eyeshadow. So I look forward to knowing what you all think about this down in the comment section, and I will check you all in my very next video, which will be super soon. Smooches. Bye.